Gotta compromise somewhere.
So yeah, how do you feel you made it to the top four? Okay, wait. Before we even talk about you making the top four, the reality of the game, let's talk about the process of reaching the top four. So the vote that David went, were you nervous? Like,
I was a little bit nervous, but I wasn't that nervous because I think I can read people, and it seemed like the vote when Joe went home. I knew something was up. I knew that it was being way too clean, and people were telling me a pretty obvious name, and I knew that I had a feeling I wanted to think Joe was safe, but I did have a feeling in the back of my head that something was about to go down. Whereas I feel like I was just talking to the players this time a lot more, and there was just a lot more open dialogue. And I mean, Brian's just so nervous, and the biggest worry at this point was Brian flipping on Aaron, Josh, and I here, and you know, Lee threw Brian's name out to me, and if I'm an ally with you, and even though Brian's made big moves in this game, and I could be dumb for even trusting him a little bit, I do trust Brian on his word with me to a degree, and that's why when his name was thrown out, I let him know. I was like, bro, I'm just letting you know your name has been thrown out today. And that I think made him a lot more nervous. And I think he's definitely threatened by the Josh and Aaron alliance. But I think he does trust me and knows that I'm here to play, and he respects my game. So I did feel comfortable going in. That's why I made I don't know if you saw that my name on the Zoom call was Jess Got Tegrity, and me and Brian's name in our alliance is You Got Tegrity. It's like a South Park reference. But he messaged me and he's like, I felt a lot better because you said that. Because you have to be worried about split votes because things can go really wrong if you don't have the right people in it. So I was nervous that things weren't going to go right. I was fucking hella nervous when that advantage came out at the end. But
yeah. So let's talk about that. You
can
know,
you talk to me about that? Because I'm still mind fucked, and I was trying to talk to someone last night about it, but Brian had work. I know Josh has work, and me and him fucking can't keep our conversation short. So I wasn't able to. So he had to use that after the vote this round.
correct.
Okay. And then, so even though Josh won immunity, he was still at risk there, correct?
Well, it was a whole different round. Once someone gets voted out, it's a whole no round.
Okay.
Yeah, so the live night just that happened when Joe and Kevin, Joe got ninth. That was round 9. Kevin got 8th, round 10. Lucy left round 11. David left round 12, and then Aaron left round 13.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was feeling so hard for Lee on that one. I was like, "Oh, Lee, this is so hard," and I was not sure if he was gonna keep me. But I will say that again, I know Brian is known to be someone that you can't trust, but I do trust him to a certain degree. Um, and he did mention to me at towards the end of a call, and he had already smoked a fucking blunt to the dome. So I think that it was a little bit it was too much kind of off the shoulder of a comment for him to say for me to think that it was a well thought out lie. And he did tell me that Lee had Final Four plans for me. So I was hoping that that was true, and it was.
So, were you expecting Lee to take you out? Were you expected to go when Lee played that advantage? Were you did you have anything in your mindset oh, there's a chance I'm going here?
Yeah, there definitely was. Especially because I voted for Lee. This is the first time I've full on lied because he told me that he's not voting for me, and then I was like, I'm not voting for you, and I was like, ooh, I'm lying. but I was happy that Erin didn't say that she voted for David. Um, I was nervous. I was nervous because I knew that there was a shot, but I also kind of like I knew that like in something like that, I don't know. I just didn't think that any of the players still there were kind of like gonna change Liam's mind no matter what the decision was. So I mean, I just continue to. I feel like I've been trying my best to play just an honest game as best as I can. Like, and it's worked for me. You know, I mean, trying to always keep the door open, and he's been talking to me a lot more the last like day. Um, so I just in my heart, I had a feeling that he was gonna probably end up going for Erin because Brian's obviously a known flipper. I'm at this point kind of like a perceived lone wolf, and Josh and Erin are a close duo.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room. You are the last newbie standing that's left in the game. How does it feel that you're the only one who started this game with no information regarding what Survivor was, the format, tribes, swaps, merge, idols, advantages? Like, what's your initial thought on that?
I didn't even think about the fact that I'm the last newbie standing, even though I literally had talked about this with my prod chat, and they're like, "Let's fucking go, Jess!" My prod chat made me so happy after that. I like literally was like swelling up with tears. It feels good, you know. I mean, I came in trying to do my best. I know that there's blind sides and everything, but all you can try to do is just be yourself. And honestly, dude, I have a hard time keeping up with lies. That's why I just try not to lie to people because I don't want to have to keep track of the lies. Because the more you lie, the more you have to keep track of them all. And it's worked out to me. It's a good feeling. I mean, I'm so happy to have made Jen and Topher so proud. And Marcelo, King Marcelo, and of course you, Sean.
I was about to say. I was about to say.
Of course you, Sean.
Oh,
I'd say the best for last.
Um, I did forget to mention. Not only you're the last newbie standing, you're also the last female standing in the game. Um, I'm trying to think of more questions to ask. It's
Which I
also
was
like
shocked about.
in the morning.
I was
Uh,
definitely shocked that Aaron went home. But I was trying to weigh out my options in my head, and I just had a feeling that Brian and Lee were working pretty closely for. I just have had a feeling, um, and I know that Josh and Leah voted together, and I know that we all love Aaron, but the Josh Aaron alliance is a real threat, and just because
so
everybody knows that, I think that everybody knows that Brian and Josh are friends in real life, but because Brian has pulled moves to show that he won't necessarily stay loyal to one side. I just think that objectively it felt like it was the smartest play to go Aaron here.
so in your eyes, what is the end game looking like for you? Who are you? Who are you? Who is the person out of Josh, Lee, and Brian do you want to sit in the end with?
It's probably stupid, but Josh. I probably have the least chance of winning against Josh, but there's a reason I saved him with the Matt vote. I felt like Josh was going to be able to further my game, and he did come to me early in the game and was like, "I want to work with you. Like, I could see us being final two." And like, the thing is even though, even though Josh and I have really not voted together a lot in this game, he's respected me, and he's honestly kept me in the loop on every vote except Josh's vote. And as much as I was kind of upset that I was left in the dark there, and I took it out on him, and I did flip on him a little bit, like flip out on him a little bit, and I made him feel like shit. Uh, I think it did. I think it did like make him upset that I was so hurt. And the thing is, I think that Josh does have the integrity, but like I just thought about it, and honestly, like I don't blame him. Like I don't blame anybody for leaving me out of that vote because if I was in their shoes, that's what I try to think of. Is if I'm in that person's shoes, how would I feel? And if I was in their shoes, I don't know if I would tell me. So it doesn't it doesn't bother me as much as it probably should. I just feel like it's not just about him furthering my game. And again, it probably is stupid for me to want to take him to the end because I have a lesser chance of winning against Josh. But the reality is that I like his perspective, and I think he's not lying to me when he says this, that taking someone to the end that you wouldn't be upset about winning is kind of like a good call. And like if Josh were to win against me, I don't think I'd be upset. I'd be like upset if Lee or Brian won against me. Well, maybe not Brian as much. Like my tier of like upsetness if I were to go against, like I'd be upset. I'd be most upset if Lee won against me. I'd be next upset if Brian won against me. But if Josh won against me, I wouldn't be as upset. But I mean, I don't know. I have to see how the taunts go the next couple days because my feeling is going to be that I think Brian and Lee are going to try to get me to go for Josh because of that exact thing. That Josh is a real threat to him. So I would like to sit with Josh, and if it seems like it's not going that direction, I think I'm still going to try to be honest with him about that. Like if it's not looking good for him, just because I feel like it's worked for me to do that with people that I'm close with.
Well, that was my last question. So, before I stop the recording, do you have the last minute thoughts?
I'm so thankful for this experience. This has really been fun. It's emotionally draining. I feel like I've grown a lot in this game because I definitely came in just wanting to win. And as the game's gone on, it's been less about winning to me and just like trying to like make these moves with as much integrity as I can. And I don't know. It's just, I think I've told you, like I had a really hard time with school this like last year, and I really needed like an outlet, and I'm happy that this was able to be an outlet for me. It's really been really helpful because everything I do, I don't know, like I feel like it always has to do with animals. And I love that about my life, but it's been nice to immerse myself in something different, and it's really helped me get my mind off of it, and I'm like getting emotional even talking about it.
But you're still interacting with animals.
I know. Well, I know. It's just now I see why everybody does this. It's nice, and I do think that I see myself being friends with almost everybody here.
Okay.